Love is Blind France is back and ready to show us that these couples are, well, as flaky as a freshly baked Parisian croissant. Because in the latest 3 episodes released by Netflix, we'll see the majority of these couples start cracking like the top layer of a creme brulee. In other words, I could really go for some dessert right now. So, where we left off last time, our 6 engaged couples were enjoying the honeymoon phase of the experiment in Morocco, with the exception of Cynthia and Jonathan, who aren't enjoying much at all right now, and Thomas and Kim, as Kim is pretty irked that Thomas had empathy for Julie and Charles after she had made fun of Charles both behind his back and also straight to his face.
That's why when you arrived, we were like, no way, that's not him, it's not that little elf there. We can't do that.
Oh, and look, Cynthia and Jonathan are actually showing up. What are we thinking here? Is she gonna be wearing heels? Ah, nope, looks like she went with the flip-flops. Now, the next day, pretty much everyone is having an emotional hangover, and apologies are being handed out left, right, and center. Kim says her and Thomas had a productive conversation, so things are golden again, you know, until they go to a fancy restaurant and she has to stare at him not knowing how to properly butter his bread.
Go on.
I mean, you can just tell she's trying her best not to scream.
It's gonna be good.
You made a sandwich, that's so cute. It's not breakfast.
Oh, you know the moment they get their phones back, she's going to be flooding him with videos like,
here's how to eat a banana. Now, we don't pick it up and peel it like a primate. Instead, we use a knife and fork.
But this is a far cry away from the insanity of Cynthia and Jonathan, who were cool with each other for all of 5 seconds before getting into another argument. As here, Cynthia asks him if he's friends with any of his exes, and when he tries to give context instead of straight up saying yes or no, she gets suspicious. And he notices.
I just need a clear answer about...
No way. I've told you
May
twice
I
already.
speak?
Of course.
Thank you. I'm trying to imagine a future
This is
with
the first
you.
time I've seen you this jealous.
Excuse me?
Oh boy, just when they were starting to have respect for each other again, just starting to have positive things to say,
and it's gone.
What?
She treats me like a child. She prevents me from being myself. In the pod, she was very calm. I absolutely didn't perceive just how condescending, hard, and all-around uncompromising toward me she could be.
yeah, I think it's time to put this one to rest. Regardless of how you feel about these two, they're better off without each other. I mean, this guy has a lot more insecurities than he's willing to admit, but if you're at the point where you're saying that after just a few days with someone, it's probably time to walk away. But nope, these two trudge on and...
Again tonight, Jonathan and I had an argument.
wow, shocker.
You're a very nice girl on camera, but you're not in real life.
You created
right.
a toxic
I've never
environment
said that.
for
You
both
know
of
what
us,
I
Jonathan.
said. Stop
You're
it.
responsible
Stop
for
it
this.
now. Stop
You
it
did
now.
this.
Yeah, this is one of those relationships that's like passing by a horrible car accident on the highway. You don't want to look, but then you do, and you just regret it.
She's by far the worst person I've ever met in my life. That's it.
So on that note, we're one couple down as we head back to Paris for the part of the experiment where our couples get to experience living together and also the realities of the real world. Some couples will thrive in this, like Julie and Charles, who are actually sleeping in the same bed now. Her attraction has grown and grown and grown for him, and now she even lets him see her in her PJs. Thomas gains a lot of momentum when Kim's dog doesn't immediately bark at him, so I guess these two are on a positive upswing.
The next step is getting married. We'll be Victoria and David Beckham, made in France.
Okay, enough with the David Beckham thing. However, most of the other couples have a whole lot of bumps in the road to overcome. Like Sabrina is showing a bit of her possessive side when Von Me brings her to his osteopath office, and she asks if he, gasp, sees female patients.
Male and female patients.
Yeah?
And
super fit women
grown-ups
with
and...
nice bodies. You have some like that once in a while?
Well,
The wedding's coming up, and if I still need to worry about that, it can create some tension.
Now at first, this doesn't seem like much until we get to this couple's get-together and they start talking about some of their struggles. And Sabrina keeps bringing up how Von Me said she wasn't his type, something, by the way, she also says about him, but then she states he showed her a bunch of pictures of all of his exes that were different from her, and that he called her cute, but he didn't use the word beautiful, so it's not enough, and this just escalates into a full-blown public blowout. out.
I didn't ask you to show me your exes. It's not true, goddammit.
Okay,
Then
I'm done.
me. You took out your phone to show me all your exes.
I'm not like that. Come on,
Then I'll
that's
be
not
the
me.
bitch.
Meanwhile, the whole other cast is just sitting there awkwardly watching this go down like,
And I moved in and I cleaned it, so I guess that makes me the devil.
You are! She is! She is the devil!
Is there more wine in the kitchen? When I see how you look at Kim, I don't like it. I see you looking at her, no comment.
oh, and there it is. So these two head back home, and you know when they start a scene off with the soundtrack to the Batman movies?
I've never seen Sabrina like that.
Yeah, things are gonna get rough.
When did you say you're sexy?
Stop it. Sometimes I'm biting my
No,
lip.
you just want to. You want to. It's not the same. That's not love. You showed me your 6 exes scrolling through all their filtered pictures with their asses, their boobs, looking like whores.
Yeah, you lost me on that one. Now, once again, we see a morning where they wake up and there's an emotional hangover, and Sabrina apologizes. But I don't know, Von Me is looking pretty dead, as if the damage has already been done. Now, as for Alex and Chloe, these two are going pretty strong, except for he's taking things really slow and hasn't said I love you yet. So that's their sort of main thing. While with Yannick and Tatiana, well, turns out he used to date one of her very close friends.
She's my girl. I have dinner at hers, she has dinner at my place.
We dated, yeah.
For a while?
No, not for very long. I don't know, 6 months, 1 year, not a year.
That's kinda long. Also, wait a minute, 6 months, maybe a year? And she's one of Tatiana's close friends? Like, she says her son calls this woman Auntie Erica? How in the world did this woman date Yannick for 6 months and never talked about or introduced him to Tatiana? Something ain't mathin' here, but okay. Anyway, this is the state of things as the couples head into the big pod meetup. The part of every season where all the people from the pods get together, even the ones who left single. Like Sabrina gets to meet Julienne, Kim meets Clement, and of course, we have to see Charles meet Sarah.
Flashback.
And don't DM me in a few days. I obviously won't answer. I think you'll want to.
So you mean you didn't get my DM?
No, I didn't get it. Well, I did get it, but I didn't answer like I told you.
So for the most part, these two actually have an adult conversation. No resorting to names, no mean comments. They talk about her issues with discussing intimacy, and no, that doesn't just mean sex. And she says she doesn't hold anything against him, except for how he gave her assurances, and then went back on his word. But then Sarah sits down with Julie, where Julie brings up all the comments Sarah made about her being vulgar, sexual, and a tease, and Sarah goes,
I really don't appreciate being labeled as this flirtatious tease or whatever when it's not true.
Well,
and
that's
you know
what
very
we were all
well.
thinking, honestly.
Ah, there's the Sarah we're all used to.
We all thought you were the bimbo of the group, to be blunt.
Oh, and look who's also here. Jonathan arrives, and not long after him, it's Cynthia, of course, in the highest of heels, which has Jonathan looking up to her like,
Vincent, we can't live side by side. Our temperaments are incompatible, you must admit that.
But turns out Cynthia's been thinking and she still wants to try things out with Jonathan after all of that. So she's apologizing and rubbing his thigh, and Lord help me, if we've got 2 more episodes of these two fighting ahead of us, I'm going to crash out. However, the biggest revelation of the night comes from Anais here. She was barely shown in the pod dating episodes, but tonight she's got some tea to share. Turns out she's friends with someone who's friends with someone who was dating Thomas right before they left to film in the pods. Something she brings directly to Thomas.
Were you together before we started filming?
Together is a bit of a stretch. We get along very well. We text all the time. When I got my phone back, I called her to see how she was doing because she has a 7-year-old son and I have an 8-year-old daughter.
Okay. Thomas denies that they were in a relationship, but you called her when you got your phone back? Does Kim know about that? 'Cause that's the part that's really tripping me up. However, he's also not hiding anything. And well, Anais tells Kim, and Kim starts freaking out because Thomas said he had been single for a very long time. So now she's going,
Shit, in fact, this guy's playing me, right? I'm really sick of it. I've never seen you like It's really pissing me off, I swear. This is really pissing me off. I just want to leave.
Meanwhile, Thomas is up in arms because he says he was only with this woman for 2 weeks and they never spent 2 days together. He's also upset because now this is just going to make things worse with Kim, who's already giving him the cold shoulder because apparently they had a notary over and Thomas said that that was pointless.
Okay,
If you
we're done.
can't be as
Good night,
tolerant
everyone.
as you want.
Thanks. It was great.
This has
Well done,
nothing to do
Anais.
with...
Thank you. I think it's too complicated and that we should call it quits.
Well, yeah, it's been 3 days,
But
so
now,
make a
that's
decision
it.
already,
I've
Thomas.
made my decision, but you
Well,
want to
yeah.
keep going so you can wear a dress. Okay?
Yeah, so just about everything around here is on fire. Can we stop for a moment and get a relationship palate cleanser?
You never have any secrets to tell me.
Okay, I'll tell you a secret then.
I love your butt.
Thank you, and hey, look at you two. Guess Charles actually pulled off the rare Love is Blind turnaround. As Julie is not saying what went down last night, but then it cuts to Charles over here and he's going...
Sex. We had sex. I had sex with her.
Meanwhile, Kim is refusing to see Thomas or answer any of his texts until he invites her over to meet Roland, a sort of father figure in his life. And, out of respect for Roland, she shows up and, my goodness, he helps them actually communicate, and then they're back on track. Thomas opens up about his very rough upbringing, so she has insights on his sensitivities, and Thomas was even willing to show Kim all the texts. Amazing what actually sitting down and talking through things can do. But back with the couples in rough waters, Sabrina meets Von Mee's friends and sister.
How would your friends describe you?
Well, as someone who's determined.
Yeah.
And if they had to, I don't know, point out one of your flaws, what would it be?
That I'm possessive in relationships.
No, you don't say. And Yannick and Tatiana are in trouble as Yannick is hesitant to sign a prenup. Then, to make things worse, he plans this cute perfume date where the two will get to design a scent together, something that's right up her alley. However, that morning he decides to go and play soccer with his mates, and he doesn't show up to their date. So she calls and calls, and eventually she gets through to him, and he goes,
Hey, don't worry, it's fine. You know, in life, people are late all the time. Why do we have to argue over this? But if you want to do it on your own, you can do it on your own.
Okay, hey, people are late is an argument you get to make when you actually have an excuse. Otherwise, it just looks like you have no respect for her time or any interest in putting her as a priority. By the way, this was a 2-hour workshop. If he was running late, he still could have showed up at any time. Now this is also something that gets brought up when he goes to meet Tatiana's mom, and oh, this woman, she just eats Yannick alive. Cause she's going, what if Tatiana asked you to pick up her son? You can't just be late and say, we'll reschedule. Also, what about the prenup? She's like, why haven't you signed it? You realize this wedding isn't going to happen unless you sign it, right?
I'm taking my time, that's all.
No. He doesn't want to sign. He doesn't want to go any further. We understood, that's it. Just call things off, that's all.
Yeah, Mom is not having it. Mom is not having it.
I need to.
No. I will talk to you however I want.
Mom, what I'm saying is, don't ask me to explain myself just to tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not up to her level.
You know what? I don't know if we've ever seen a parent on the show with so much disdain for their kid's partner.
Even if my daughter wants this, I'll say no. And if I say no, it won't happen.
Well, turns out Mom might be right on that point, because we finish these episodes off with them all wedding dress shopping, and as the women start trying on wedding gowns, it eventually turns to Tatiana, who says, nope.
I just want to tell you that I'm really happy for all of you, but I won't be trying on a dress today.
Oof, someone better go and tell Yannick, and oh, what's that? He's busy playing soccer with his mates? My apologies. So that's it for this recap of Love is Blind France, episodes 5 through 7. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like, comment your thoughts down below, and subscribe to the channel for more content. And until next time, Bachelor Fantake, out.
Here's how to eat a banana. Now, we don't pick it up and peel it like a primate. Instead, we use a knife and fork.